to a late start this morning, so I didn't spend as much time reading through everything on all the stocks, but I think that there's some good stuff here. So the after hours, the market actually drifted lower. I had a bid in an IWM that I got hit in the after hours around 115.30, which I sold since I decided I didn't want to go out long the market, even with options on the other side. But we can measure off of yesterday's action. The SPYs were down around 209 in the after hours, closed at 209.74. This morning, they touched that area where we failed several times, that 210.30. We're definitely short-term oversold. If we look at the daily and we kind of draw a downtrend like this, then we go like this, kind of like we did in IWM yesterday. It's accelerated. Even this accelerated downtrend line is probably only around 211 right now. So it was very clean in terms of once we identified where we couldn't get back above at the end of the day, and prior support then became resistance right at 210.40. And we had this bottoming bar the day before, and we went higher. We had this bottoming bar, but we couldn't get back above this right here. In fact, traded below the low in the after hours, you can see here. And I guess when London opened this morning, we were still down here. So that's where we are. We get above this, start holding. We need to assume 211, 211.15, I think it was yesterday. We talked about in the morning meeting. And we'll kind of see. Above that, it's the that 212.30 where we held for a few days. So as I mentioned, I had a bid in from earlier in the day. Got hit in the after hours. I sold it. 116.20. It's kind of interesting to me here. Starts to hold above 116.20, then you have the 116.40s. And this is really accelerated to the downside. Just lower highs, and then this is just getting very steep. So I would expect 1.5, 2 point move off the low here in the very near future in IWM. Wherever it bottoms. All right, so Facebook, when the numbers first came out and it was trading lower, I was bidding down at 117, 116 and a half is a great spot on the daily. So if you got this in the after hours here, this is from a longer term perspective, this is kind of the spot where you'd want to put on a longer term position. In this area here for move back up to the highs. So that's a longer term. It's been in this multi-year. This is when they first started doing well in mobile advertising right here, this gap up, and ever since it's been along pretty much. So once it put in the bottom here, I guess they accumulated at 118, they accumulated a little bit higher. We come in this morning, great levels in this area. I put 1 in 22 as just kind of the first whole number above where it was consolidating just to see how it behaves there. But if we were to take that out, 123.80 to 124 is kind of where it looks like it broke down from during the conference call. Be prepared to play either side. There should be at least 3 or 4 good trades in it from an intraday perspective. Fitbit is just disaster. Morgan Stanley lowered their target from 30, I think, to 12 or 9 or something. Oppenheimer, same thing. So The biggest tell in this stock was after an IPO, they reported good number after good number after good number. They kept on beating, and it just kept on getting sold, sold, sold. Now they're finally saying some bad things. So it's taken out its all-time low now, which was 1170. There is no support, but it's going to probably do a lot of volume today, and there could be some bottom fishers. This is different than, what was it, ADP yesterday, where you look at it and you're like, oh shit, people are going to get arrested one day. This is just, tough sector. So there could definitely be some people looking to bottom fish in this one. After hours looks like at 880, hasn't been able to hold above 9.25. See, it did spike 7 o'clock this morning above 9.25, but it hasn't been able to hold. If you see it holding above 9.25, then 930, maybe we'll go to 960, 980, maybe even $10. It's holding below 880, then you can look for it to drift down a little bit more, but I'm not sure how much more downside there is from this area. All right, DPLO. So the numbers, they got it down, but it's down a lot more. It's down 35%. They got it down 10%. Here's the IPO at 15. Went to 50. Obviously, it never should have been there, but the fact that it's gapping below its IPO area on this news, I don't know. It seems too much to me. After the meeting, maybe I'll look at some more of the research reports just to see what people are saying. Okay, so it held 1450 here in the pre-market. So let's watch this 1450. Good volume here. Just 1450, maybe a flush a little bit through on the open. See if we can get back above there. Let's see what happens at 15. Maybe it can bounce all the way back up to the 17. CHK, I put this on here just because it's so liquid and the numbers look good and it had been down recently. Here's the daily. I just feel like this is one anyone can get involved in. It should be very little risk. Facebook 122. So had this crazy move to 7, then came right back down into the 3s, and then made a higher high. It was looking pretty good. Then just coming into earnings, it kind of broke this. If we can get back about 560 or so, bring $6 into play. You get a close above this 615 area. It brings this back into play. So that's my thought on that. Here's the pre-market. It's now twice it's gotten above this 560, so I'm going to get long it on the open, give it like 20 cents, see if it can start to consolidate and move towards $6. We're on the conference call right now. I thought the game plan was uploaded. Baba. So Baba failed 105, 106 in the pre-market, went all the way down to long-term support, bounced 3 times from there. Didn't really have big bounces, but you can see 99 is the level. It actually spiked above there 2 times, but never held. In the after hours, like everything else, it took out the intraday lows, but it's kind of in the middle of this afternoon consolidation. So that's kind of funny. I drew this in the pre-market. Right on the open, the first move was down. It held 104 a few times. When it took out 102.60, it went down pretty cleanly to 100. And it took out the priority as low. I guess that's why that's acting as resistance now. So 99 was priority as support, is now resistance. This is long-term support, 97.40. So continue to watch this range here. Data. So data spiked on the open. I missed that short into this kind of area we highlighted in the pre-market. You can see the wick there. it failed, it came right back down into this range and was bought the rest of the day at 43, despite the fact that it was sold at 44, it came down, it was accumulated here for a few hours, came up to 44 again, there was a seller there. So was down on the news, but clearly somebody's interested in buying the stock at 43. Initially when the news came out, it went all the way to 40, then they bought it at 42. So they're buying it a little bit higher than where they bought it the prior day. So I would lean towards looking for this to start to bounce back over the next few days. Next clue would be it consolidating above 44. Consolidated above 42, then 43. Now you want to see if it consolidates above 44. Then you'd look for this move up to this 46. ADP2, which I referenced earlier, this was actually a $12 stock in the pre-market. Trended down to 10, then held below 10. This is an example of a really clean, you short this, it takes out the morning low, and what you want to see is it hold below the whole number, which it did, and you want to see it take out the low again and hold, consolidate below. So it didn't do anything that if you were shorted, where you had to think about covering at any point. If you were in from here. Now this morning, you have the last consolidation before the final down move was right above $9 here. You'd watch to see if it comes up into this area here and then gets back down below. I don't know. That's it. I got a bunch of stuff to do before the open. As always, be patient and good luck.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.